snap this chair in half.
It's literally broken. Chair's done.
Broken too. Why are all these chairs broken?
Oh.
There's Neezer. This is Niza. Call her Neezer. Niza, I need you to understand, there is a difference between a want, okay, and a need. You know what I mean? She gets it. A lot of you nerds don't get it. She gets it. Niza gets it. In this video, I'm gonna be talking to you guys about really a key difference that 99% of people do not understand, which is why they stay in the same position that they're at and they never achieve the best version of themselves. If you guys do not know who I am, my name is Peyton Vindasius. I went from complete broke university dropout to making 7 figures in 3 years, running a door-to-door window cleaning company with my brother. We now teach guys how to do the same. I make these videos because this is exactly what would have helped me out 3 years ago when I first started my entrepreneurship journey. There is a difference between a want and a need. This might sound extremely simple for a lot of you guys watching this, right? And it is, but it's something that a lot of people do not understand. Everybody wants things, right? Everybody wants more money. Everybody wants to get into shape. Everyone wants a better relationship. And I'd argue overall, everyone wants a good relationship with God, or at least they want to go to heaven, right? Obviously, no one really wants to go to hell at the end of the day, right? But the goal, the point is that everyone wants these things, and everyone has, let's say, like a goal of what they want their life to look like. There is a difference between a want and a need. Whereas a want is, I want to make more money, I want to get into shape, I want to get a better relationship, right? I want to, get closer with God. And a need, where I need to get into better shape, I need to make more money, I need to get out of this relationship and into a better one, or I need to get closer with God because I'm in a bad spot right now. A lot of people are either born with it or they're not, right? And myself, I'll give myself as an example where, and I'll use fitness, right? Because a lot of you guys watching this, maybe you're out of shape, maybe you're not. But I always knew that I could not live the rest of my life out of shape, skinny, not confident, too introverted, didn't like meeting new people. I could not live with myself like that, right? And every time I looked in the mirror, I just hated the person looking back at me, right? I hated looking at this version of myself where I'm super skinny, you could see my bones, right? I got super long limbs and I'm super lanky and, super tall. Like, I can't remember the last time I was below 6'4", and some of you guys like, oh dude, Peyton, stop complaining, you're 6 foot. I know, right? My height is cool, but I used to hate my height, right? When I was growing up, and I was, I used to be super into like playing video games, and I would always, I used to run Fortnite and Minecraft, a lot of fun, games, right? And, I love just like being by myself and, playing video games with, sometimes with a lot of the boys. But in person, when it came to meeting new people or like looking in the mirror and seeing myself, I hated the person looking back at me. And so that became my need, right? Where because of my situation, because of what was happening, because I couldn't live my life, I couldn't live the rest of my life in this situation of feeling not confident, feeling super introverted, didn't like meeting new people, right? I didn't like being in big groups or big crowds of people. I didn't like going to events, right? In order to become the version of myself that I need to become, the version that I'm trying to become every single day, in order to become that version of myself where I'm more confident, I like meeting new people, right? I'm more extroverted, I'm at least better at talking to the camera now than I was 3 years ago. I have to get into better shape. It is not a want anymore of like, oh, I just want a better physique, because everybody wants that. But very few amount of people have where they are, right? Their situation of I have XYZ going on, which is why I have to make this work, right? I could not live the rest of my life with these things going on and continue the life I was currently living. I could not live that reality of knowing that I'm super out of shape. I could be in better shape. And that's another thing, knowing that you could be in better shape. You could be that version of yourself. You could be the version of yourself, make more money, better shape, better relationship, but you're not. That is the worst feeling in the entire world, is knowing that you could have been, but you're not. You continue to settle for mediocrity. You continue to let days go by where you're not improving yourself. You continue to let days go by where you are avoiding difficult things and things that you know you need to be doing, but you're not. Okay, that is where the mediocrity comes in. If you do not change that, you will stay the same forever. I always had this vision, this kind of aspect of my life where I felt like I needed to change my physique. Now, we'll go into finances, right? The difference between I want to make more money. Yeah, I just want to make more money. It's like, what does that mean? Like, why do you want to make more money? One of the things that we do with a lot of our clients is we'll create a personalized game plan for them. But before we create the game plan, I want to know what their goals are, because I want to help these guys hit their goals as fast as possible. And if I know why they want to hit their goals, if I know why, the deeper meaning of why they want to make more money, now I can help them get to their goal, because I understand, I'm inside of their brain. It's like, hey man, do you want this or do you want to stay the same? Hey man, do you want this car or not? Yes. Okay, cool. So we need to do this. Hey man, do you want to, get into better shape, or do you want to stay the same? Oh, I want to get into better shape. Okay, why man? Like, why do you want to get into better shape? Right? And so when you understand, this will go for full circle into when you can understand your why to what you are doing, right? The what becomes so much easier, right? When you understand the goal, right, vividly, you have a clear visualization of what your life could look like, it becomes a need, right? Now, it only becomes a need if you can not continue settling for the reality that you are currently living in. If you are okay living every single day moving forward, right, knowing that you could have gotten in better shape, you could have made more money, but you're not. The longer that you can delay that process, the longer that you can continue living the same life over and over and over again, right, is going to determine whether this desire, this goal, this what you kind of want out of life, is a want or a need, where I have to make this happen. There's some guys, who live a life where they start very broke, right? They start very poor housing. Maybe they're in a tough situation with their parents. Maybe their parents were divorced and it's a very tough relationship, whatever it is, and they're brought up in this really hard environment, right? Maybe there's some kids who grew up in that environment who will do anything in their power, right, as they go older to not have that same life for their kids, right? To allow their kids a different childhood or a different come up than they had when they were brought up, right? And so this want of making more money, of getting in better shape, of becoming the better version of yourself, it becomes a need where I have to do what I need to do to become this version of myself, because I cannot live a version of my life where I do not have these things, right? And so you need to look at your goals, and you need to look at what you want out of life and understand, ask yourself, like, why do I want these things? Why are these things important to me, right? Why do I want this car or this house, or why do I want to feel like important, right? And when you ask yourself these questions, you understand, like, you get to visualize what your life could look like. Because between me and you, bro, you can have anything you want in life, right? There's no shortcut. It's not gonna be easy. And so most people know exactly what they need to do, but they refuse to do it over and over again, because their goal is not a need. It is continually just a want. Yeah, I want to make more money. Yeah, I want to get into better shape. Yeah, I want, a better relationship. Yeah, I want a house or a nicer car. Or yeah, I kind of want those things, right? But do you? Do you actually want those things? Because if you actually wanted those things, then you would do anything in your power to get them, right? There's a difference between a want and a need, and it is a huge difference, right? And so if you are living a reality right now where you hate the person looking back at you when you look in the mirror, right? Your physique, right? You hate looking at your bank account and seeing, low digits or maybe even negative numbers. Maybe you're in debt, right? And you need to change that. If you're in a relationship right now where you're like, I hate this relationship, I don't like my partner, right, at all, right? They're holding me back from the better version of myself that I'm trying to become, right? They are, taking up too much of my time, effort, and energy. I have to get out of this relationship, right? If you are in a position where you have to do these things, you will do what is required to get to your goal. You will do what is required to get out of them, to get the goal, the outcome that you are looking for. But if it is a want, if it's something like, oh yeah, I kind of just want to get X, Y, Z, I kind of want to get into shape, I kind of want to make more money, guess what? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Because everyone wants things, but that doesn't make you different. What makes you different is when it is a need. Because here's the thing, motivation doesn't actually exist. And if it does exist, it's infinite when you need something, right? Do I go to the gym, yes or no? Oh, I'm tired, I don't want to go, all these things are happening, right? I'm busy, right? Maybe I'm mentally fatigued, right? I could be doing something else, but I need to go because I need to become the better version of myself. This one reason overcomes all of these negative reasons, right? The one reason of why I have to go because I need to become the better version of myself. right? This overpowers all of the negative emotions, all the negative thoughts of pulling you back, keeping you comfortable, keeping you in this bubble of staying the same, right? Because it's a need. And so when you need something, when you need to achieve a goal or an outcome or this better version of yourself, right? You get endless motivation. That is the key to life, is when you need to do something. It's not a want, it's not something I want to do, I want this, I want that. Everyone wants things. When it becomes a need, the motivation just comes and it's infinite and it does not go away unless you keep your desire, this goal, as a need and not a want. I want you to ask yourself right now, okay? How many more days can go by where I don't make active steps towards, building my dream life? How many more days can go by where you skip the gym? How many more days go by where you work the 9 to 5 and you don't start the business? How many more days can go by where you stay in that, that shitty relationship of knowing that you were made for someone better, or you need to become a better version of yourself so that you can attract the type of person that you want to spend the rest of your life with, okay? How many more days go by where you settle for mediocrity? You continue to live a life that you could be doing way better. If the answer is not many, or if the answer is none, like I can't live this life anymore, right? Now we can help you. Right? Now we have something to work towards because we have a need. We have to get to our goal. But if it's a want, if I can continue settling for this, I'm comfortable, I make a little bit of money, I'm kind of out of shape, I'm kind of just a mediocre, normal person, you're never hitting your goals because you're comfortable staying where you're at. You either won't get there at all, or you won't get there in the amount of time you want to get there. Because it's pretty cool to be, young and rich. It's pretty shitty, I'd imagine, to be old and rich, right? So you want to get rich pretty quick. Being young and in really good shape is pretty cool, right? I'd hate to be old and in shape, right? And so getting what you want, but getting what you want fast, right? And the only way to do that is to have it be a need. So